Liberian refugees who are scattered around the world. This morning, the story of one man, a Liberian refugee here in the U.S., who was a victim of torture and continues to try to help his fellow countrymen. A slight man of modest means, soft-spoken, reflective, but back in his native Liberia, Jacob Massaquoi had the stature and the strength of a giant. A human rights activist, Massaquoi says he took on former strongman Charles Taylor, whose guerrilla army fought a brutal 7-year civil war. When Massaquoi was 18, soldiers shot and killed his older brother, mainly because he came from a tribe suspected of siding with the rebels. Massaquoi witnessed it all, but said nothing.
He looked at me, and I looked at him, and I walked away because we had an agreement. If I had identified with him, they would have killed me too.
He was not deterred. He spoke out against violence and the use of child soldiers, making him a target.
If you listen to the radio station in Monrovia, they will consider you as a spy.
Once, he says, security forces shot him repeatedly, shattering his leg. He also says he was jailed and tortured by Taylor's forces for 3 days. Even that wasn't enough to stop him. With his battered right leg now inches shorter than the left, Massaquoi hobbled through Liberia, reaching out to villagers devastated by poverty and war. In 2002, Massaquoi narrowly escaped an assassination attempt and fled to the United States. To Little Liberia, a Staten Island neighborhood that's home to 8,000 West African refugees and immigrants. There, Massaquoi founded African Refuge, a small agency affiliated with Columbia University's International Trauma Studies program. His group provides new refugees with information about housing and health care and other services.
They offer free legal services.
They can also talk about the pain they suffered back home, about betrayal and torture, often by people they knew.
You tend to suspect everyone of being after you.
Volunteers like Jennifer help the refugees voice their fears.
Hi, Florence. How are you? Hi, Martha.
This woman worries she'll be told to stop selling vegetables on the street.
And this is all that I do to send money to support my family.
The goal for her and other refugees to adapt and begin a new life in their new home. Ahead this morning, we continue our focus on World Refugee Day as CNN's Anderson Cooper stops by. He's got a preview of his interview tonight with Angelina Jolie and a focus on what she is doing to help ease the refugee crisis. Then later this morning, a group of young children known as the Night Commuters. Every night, they make a frightening journey under the cover of darkness, seeking safety from a deadly threat. We'll tell you their story just ahead on American Morning.
Beware of those who speak in euphemisms.
You've presented some very challenging ideas.
Translation, I'm scared of your thinking.
I don't mean to be a fly in the ointment.
Translation, your idea is about to die a slow, miserable death. At BMW, ideas are everything. And as an independent company, we make sure great ideas live on to become ultimate driving machines.
We gotta be more efficient. What would Shuford do?
We gotta think big. What would Carter Litwin do?
What would Watkins Worldwide do?
We've got to be more nimble. What would those guys at